watching today. This is Kinnear. Welcome to another Starfield video. Today I'm taking a captured Crimson Fleet Wight and reconfiguring the internal layout. Instead of a maze of sections that only a ruthless pirate could love, we'll create a great platform with easy ground entry, dock to entry, room for crew and passengers. Just as important, we'll have as much living space for decorating as most apartments in the game. This floating gunship can be your home among the stars. So let's get started. The Crimson Fleet Wight shares a design with the Spacer Hyena and the Crossbow. It's a fast ship. It's relatively easy to find at ship landing sites, as I've shown in my previous ship hunting videos, but the interior layout's a mess. Fun when you're clearing out pirates, less fun when you're trying to play the rest of the game. My goal with any ship like this is simple: to have ground entry to a central location near the bridge, to be close to an airlock, sleeping quarters, and a workshop. With the May update, we also get the ability to decorate inside, so we have more options for what we can do with the ship. I've registered the ship for just over 58,000 credits. We'll do the renovations at 3 locations, starting with my own landing pad and Shipbuilder, then traveling to 2 other locations for specific parts. So it's a little difficult to work with these ships when they're a dark color. The Shipbuilder's already finicky, and picking parts is a little difficult for me, so I'm going to repaint the ship right off the bat. We're going to go with some light grays, maybe a little bit of color accent. Since it's a pirate ship, maybe we'll use some red. I'll remove the Nova cowling and bracers from the top level. I'm actually not going to use these, but I'm going to set them off to the side for right now. This engine strut I am going to use, and I'm going to duplicate it and put it on the other tab. And we'll move the bridge out of the way. I will keep the same bridge. There are alternatives for putting a normal bridge on this, but I think for this ship, because it started with this, I'm going to try to use it. We'll take these pipes and this 1x1 companionway and get them off to the side as well. I won't be needing those. And I'm going to duplicate this hab. The top level of the ship is going to have 3 2x1 habs. We won't visit these many times when using the ship, but they're primarily here to give us stats. We'll make that one a control station. Center one is a computer core. And this will be a science lab. Finally, for symmetry, we'll move the shield to the center. Next, we'll select this layer. Try to get all the pieces. I'm holding down the control key and left clicking with the mouse on PC. And we'll move this entire section off to the side and out of the way. We'll remove the Hope 11 docker. We're going to replace that with something on the other side of the ship. Pull this 1x1 off to the side. I'm going to leave these 2 2x1 habs here as a placeholder for something I'm going to drop in later. We'll pull the rest of the 1x1s from this level. And I won't be using the 3x1 engineering bay either. I'm going to duplicate these habs and put 2 in the front, and we'll just make them control stations for right now. They're placeholders for a hab we'll pick up at another location. I'm going to add a Deimos captain's quarter. I'm going to remove this captain's quarter and add a Deimos infirmary here. I like the interior layouts of these, but you could choose anything you'd like. Let's pull this 2x3. We're going to make that a Nova Galactic Armory, empty for now. And we're going to add a workshop. We won't need this infirmary anymore. On the port side, I want to add a Deimos 3x1 all-in-one berth. What you'll notice is I'm putting Deimos habs on the outer edges of this layer. On this side, we're going to add a Deimos 2x1 living quarters. If I can get the snap point right, we'll do it. We'll need to move this at least out of the way. We'll attach a docker to this side. Connect Pro Docker. A large blocky unit. Looks like it fits in. We'll move that porthole over here if I can flip it. And I think we can get rid of all these parts now. Need to move this Horizon weapons mount. Sometimes moving a part can be far more difficult than it should be. This ship only comes with 870 cargo to start, and even though we're going to add weight by this, I'm going to add some Caravel low-profile V102 cargo holds. Because it's a Crimson Fleet ship, it already has a little bit of shielded cargo as well, so I don't need to worry about that. Over here and fight with this weapons mount. I'm going to save that for the future. So now our cargo is up to 1470. We'll put the top layer back on and the bridge back on. I'm going to slide the bridge back up against this tab. We do have a warning to reduce mass or add engines, and we're actually pretty low on cost right now, so I'm going to look at adding engines right now. This will probably require Starship Design rank 2. I'm going to look at the grav drive. I really only need something that'll get me 28 light year range or farther. Apollo GV100 looks like it will probably do the job. The Aurora 13G grav drive looks like it might as well. I don't see a lot of difference between them, and I'm not trying to push the ship up to a full Class C loadout. One of the primary benefits of this ship is it comes with a Class C reactor that generates 40 units of power. So we're going to go with the Aurora. Get rid of that one. Our total climbs to 25,463. I'm okay with the fuel range for right now. We'll take the SAL 6110 engines, move them off to the side. We're going to replace those. Depending on your budget and your Starship design skills, you could go up to White Dwarf 3030s on this. For this build, I'm just going to put the White Dwarf 3000s on it to start. Our mobility is over 50. Top speed is 150. This is still a fairly fast ship, and so I'm not worried about the turn rates. I still need to swap the landing bay. Hope 4, please. I think the NG6 looks nice as well. The rest of the ship looks pretty good. $42,369 credits. This is the bulk of the renovation that we're going to do on this ship at this location. We have 30 light year range, mobility 53. I think that'll work for now. Our next stop will be in the Sol system at the Deimos Staryard. I enjoy that green PowerPoint in the shield from Omari. An excellent companion to have. He's available at the bar in Aquila City if you haven't picked him up. We'll run past Victory Hall. Nikau. I'd like to work on my ship. We really only need one thing here, and we can pull off this tiny section, select these 2 control stations, and we're going to add a 2x2 Deimos battle station. Move these control stations. Very inexpensive update. 663 credits. Put our bridge back. And this strut. Can play around with the paint job a little bit. Not important yet. By the end, we could repaint this entire thing in a very nice Crimson Fleet red, if we're going to be pirates in our particular playthrough, or any color we'd like.
When you get serious.
Thanks. When I get serious about it, I will come back. Next, we're going to go to Titan in the same system to New Homestead. I think we only need one component here, another 2x2 hab. I really think all the ship services technicians should have their own names. They're very important in this game, and they should probably have their own voices too. So this is easiest to fix from the bottom. We'll take this 2x3 cargo haul and move it off to the side. We're going to select these 2 habs, the center and the right one when looking at the ship from the bottom, and get rid of those carefully so I don't delete 7 other things. And I'm going to look for the Nova Galactic 2x2 living quarters. And we're going to put the cargo hull back. I am going to remove these portholes from the bottom. If you like them, leave them. If you don't, move them. So I'm just going to flip them and drop them on top of the ship. Don't think they're going to change. They might change the layout up here. These are always items I end up experimenting with. Portals on the side absolutely change the interior layout of a hab. Portals on the top, I'm not so certain. I just haven't spent a lot of time staring at them and testing them. I will move these portals forward and put this thruster array toward the back. I'll do that on both the infirmary and the captain's quarters. That has a very specific effect internally that I like. And then I'm going to duplicate these windows over on the living quarters. And we'll make sure on the 3x1 all-in-one berth on the other side that I have all the portals that I need. I'll also add a portal to the cargo hull down below. Having trouble duplicating that one, so we'll just add it through the menu. I am shifting the storage back one slot. If you get to the cargo hull and you decide you don't like where the windows are, you can move the landing gear back one slot and put portals in front of that. Do a little paint work. That hab there doesn't look identical to, I could change it to a Deimos hab, but I kind of like the workbench arrangement in this one. I will paint it so that it looks a little more like the other habs. It's not going to be perfect, but we can chase perfection as long as we don't expect to attain it. And our total's at 1,719 credits. I will rearrange the weapons. I'd like to be able to shoot with my mouse buttons. And this ship, for some reason, by default, has a turret assigned in the number 1 slot. That's slightly better. Those are the primary modifications. Let's go take a look at the ship. We'll head back to the Olympus system, to the planet Nesoi, and my Smuggler's Cove base, just because I like the scenery there. Our total at this point in time is 103,456 credits. I will make a stop at the Red Mile and add a scan jammer. I won't have to add shielded storage. I'll also note that this is my cost with Commerce Rank 4 and a 2% bonus from the Crix magazine. If you don't have those bonuses, your cost will be higher. After 3 days of rain, we finally got a nice sunny day. So let's go outside and look at the ship. Look at that deadly, deadly ship. I still have a little bit of red on there just for its crimson heritage. So let's go inside. Come straight to the center, the way I like it. We're going to hit E to board the ship itself and not go straight to the cockpit. We arrive in the battle stations, and because of the location of the bridge, we're right below the bridge. The ladder goes straight up. So we have access to the bridge. We drop down, we have access to the outside from one location. If you'd prefer the ladder to be closer to the front of the ship, you can just slide the bridge forward one block. Over to our right is the airlock for when we're docked in space with another ship or a station. Behind us is the empty armory. You have a portal out the front, so if you're at the battle stations, you can look out. I have random security people that keep spawning. Captain's quarters. The reason I put the window at the front was so that it kept the bathroom and the table in the back. So I like this layout. On the side, we have the 3x1 all-in-one berth. This is all good crew space. Nice view out the side. Through the workshop to the front is an infirmary, which still has a pharmaceutical bench. As we go to the back of the ship, there's a 2x1 living quarters on this side with a galley. If I can activate the galley, it's a little finicky. There it is. It's over to the side. Not going to complain about it. Not going to complain about it. It's still there. I like this 2x2 living quarters for the crew. There's a galley in here as well. I just like the way this looks. And at the back, we have a single ladder that goes across all 3 levels. This is currently a populated or furnished 2x3 storage hall. If you'd like to turn this into a mobile apartment or mobile condominium, you can very easily convert this to an empty storage hall, and you have a tremendous amount of space for decorating. If you climb up a level, you'll be in a control station with a computer room next door and a science lab next door. These are really just for ship statistics so that we can pick up passengers, that we have plenty of room for crew capacity, etc.
How are you?
So let's take it for a little test flight. Once again, a Varun litany, orbiting in space to challenge us. Even with no modifications to the weapons on this ship, a one-on-one fight is trivial. Next, let's go to the Serpentis system. We'll just fly over near Serpentis III. Check our power levels, throw a point into engine. There's a ship in the distance. Oh, it's the trader. I won't spoil it if you don't know who that is, but we're not going to do anything with the trader right now. We'll just move on to another system. Looks like we have 3 hostiles in the area. We arrive in the middle of a rock farm. There they are. Low level 14. Not really a fan of missiles, but since I've left them on here, they do seem effective. That is a level 1 prophecy. That'd be a great ship for a low-level character. Varun Hyena III. And gone. Even with the default shield, which I think has a 1300 rating, this is a solid ship at this point in time. There are a lot of options to upgrade over time with starship design skills. Clearly you have to have piloting 4 to have this ship in the first place, but with starship design skills and the right amount of money, you can tune this to your liking. So that's the build. This is, again, primarily a reconfiguration of the interior of this ship. For this specific ship, I did make some changes to the engines and the grav drive just to get it past a warning that seemed to be there almost from the start as soon as I started to make changes. The cost was still around 100,000 credits with my commerce bonuses. Yours might be higher if you don't have the same bonuses, but still much less expensive than what you would have to pay to buy a ship outright. If you can find this even with the registration fee, it's a steal. In addition, this ship has a large 2x3 cargo hull on the bottom layer. That can be turned into effectively a floating apartment. Would you fly the Crimson Fleet Wight? Do you already fly the Crimson Fleet Wight? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. Remember, we cannot solve problems with the kind of thinking we employed when we came up with them. Learn as if you will live forever, live like you will die tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and get notifications. This is Kinnear, and I'm out of here.